YouTube, what's good? So, I came here in this vlog to talk to y'all about something very important. So we're gonna get straight into it. Increasingly, on people's social media platforms, I've been seeing a surge in the number of posts that are geared towards people reflecting on what their belief of a good man and or woman is in a relationship. I don't have no problem with that. However you feel your ideal model or epitome of a relationship should be, more power to you. But in everything real, there can be issues identified. So here's where I feel keeping it real goes wrong. Um, I'm not gonna single out men or women because I don't do the gender bashing. It's not my thing. I'm totally against that shit. I don't feel like any one man or woman should ever be grouped into the bad apples that make up our respective genders for the fucked up shit they do in their relationships. So when I speak generally, it's not about men as a whole or women as a whole, because I don't rock with that shit. But I will say, for everybody who likes to talk about what a good man would do for a woman that he's with, or how a good man should treat a woman that he's with, I really want to sincerely and genuinely tell everybody who has that way of thinking that a man should treat a woman this way and she should be this to that man. Stop that bullshit, because there is no such thing as everyone being created equal. And no two women necessarily deserve equal treatment in a relationship. Like, I don't know why everybody's on this shit where there seems to be this cookie cutter mold of what an expectation for a man being defined as a good man and how he should be in that relationship for whatever woman he's with. Granted, I think there are raw qualities that a good man should possess that makes that man good in a relationship, but the caliber of the woman that any man is with, and vice versa, the caliber of any man that a woman's with, should dictate how that woman or man is treated in that relationship. It's not automatic. You don't automatically get my undivided love and attention, unconditional affection, and all that other bullshit that you females are into. You don't all get that automatically. How I treat you within the construct of our relationship is solely dependent on your level of deserving that treatment in that relationship. Whether you think you deserve it or not is not the same thing. If I'm in a relationship as a good man because I feel like I possess the qualities of a good man, if you feel like you don't have my undivided attention, if you feel like I'm not treating you as well as you may perceive me to be treating other people, then really what you're projecting is you don't deserve for me to be doing that. See, there seems to be a big misconception between what a good man is and what people's idea of what a good man is in a relationship, as far as like what women would consider a good man. And same thing for women. It's the same thing. There seems to be a big misconception to men what good women are, as opposed to really having one. Because my opinion is, a lot of the people who say they want a good man or woman, if you look deep into their history of relationships, they're either currently with a good man or woman or have had one in the past and didn't know how to handle that shit. Because what the difference between good and bad is not, oh, this man does things for me, or he does what I want him to, or this woman is loyal to me, just for the sake of being loyal to me. It's about deserving the treatment that you require in that relationship. The two people in a relationship are really the ones who are solely responsible for defining that relationship. And each person's wants and needs are different for different points in time in their lives. And what I require in a relationship that to me makes a good woman might not necessarily be what a friend of mine or another man sees as being a good woman, because we all have different needs. So if you were with someone in the past and that man told you or made you feel like you were a good woman, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a good woman with the next man that you're with. If you're truly going to be a good partner, it's about providing the needs of that partner. But here's the disclaimer, because there are people who would say, "Oh, that sounds kind of hypocritical." It's not. It's about what that person deserves. If you're giving me shit, then you should not have the audacity to expect me to give you gold in return for that shit that you're giving me. If I'm providing things to you that are intangible things, things that are invaluable, things like security, stability, I'm making sacrifices for you for the sake of our family unit and us together as a couple, and you're looking for tangible things or things that you apply a different value set to. Just because what I'm giving you is different from what you say you were looking for doesn't necessarily quantify the things I'm giving you as not being good things. And it doesn't define me as not being a good man. It's about the quality of what I'm trying to do in a relationship and what the person you're with is trying to do in a relationship, and whether or not their communication to you is in line with what their actions are in that relationship. Yo, y'all need to step up, yo. And y'all need to really start being able to better differentiate between what's good and what's bad. Because a lot of you females call a lot of men good bad because they're giving you something that is not in the uniformity of what you feel you should be getting. Because there's really no set way. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I mean, that saying applies to everything in life. But I don't like how men who are bad, genuinely bad, because they're not willing to do shit for you while you do everything for them. They don't know how to compromise or make sacrifices while you give up everything for them. Yeah, I would classify that as being a bad person in a relationship. Not necessarily a bad person, but bad within the context of that relationship. But you got to look at the cues, yo. You got to look at a person's communication. I think the majority of men who are not considered good men aren't really presenting themselves as good men, because we all exhibit signs of how we really are. It's just that the people that you're with a lot of times will ignore, and we're all guilty of it. Will ignore the signs that we're clearly seeing, either in hopes that it'll get better, or we like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it is human nature to want to give a person the benefit of the doubt or be sure that something's not for you before you leave that situation. The only problem with that is that it usually takes too long to figure out that a situation is not good for you. And by the time you figure it out, you've invested so much time and energy into that situation that you feel like it would be a waste to leave that situation. And so years go by. I don't have an issue with people who have in their own mind's eye a picture of what the perfect relationship is, or what in their mind their good man or good woman should look like. That's cool. But there is a standard. There is a standard of measurement for what somebody who's genuinely contributing to the relationship looks like and someone who isn't. And y'all need to stop with all of these posts about, yo, if you're a good man, you would treat your woman like a queen. No, look, if I'm a king and you want to be treated like a queen, you need to present yourself as a queen, or I'm not going to be able to treat you like a queen. You know, it's that simple. In life, you get what you give. What you put out into the universe is what the universe gives back to you. It's called karma. It is what it is, yo. A lot of us, all of us, I'll put myself in there too. Um, if the shit that you're getting is not conducive to the shit that you say you want, and you're 100% confident that the shit you're putting out warrants you getting that same thing back, then you're with the wrong person. But I think if you're honest with yourself and you really take an inventory of your relationship and all of your relationships collectively, because when you date a person, you're not just dating that person, you're dating every person that person's dated before you leading up to you, and the same for that person. um who we are is really a collective of every experience that we've ever had. Might not be conscious of it in our everyday activities, but that's really what it is. So take a better inventory of yourself, take a better inventory of your baggage and the people you've dealt with in the past, and check your perspective and really see if your viewpoint is as clear as it should be. And if you all do that, if we all do that, I think we'll all be in a much better place than we are right now. And stop all this relationship fucking bashing and this gender bashing, and stop trying to define relationships by the quantity instead of the quality of what the person you're with is giving you. It's really all it is, yo. I don't know everything, but I do know a little about a little. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love.